Greetings, 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 greetings. Wow, wow, what a life. Guys, just a quick check in. I haven't finished work, but I'm so excited. I'm sure you guys know that I share everything that goes on in my life. I am so excited. Big lesson today. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Indeed, patience is a virtue. It's not the first time I've heard this statement. It's not the first time that I've heard this saying. But today its meaning has become so clear. So clear. That's why I'm excited. If you've been following me, shall we say the last 2 years or 3, is it? You will realize that in terms of patience, I've come a long way. I've never really been known to be a patient person, especially with myself. I can be very patient with other people. I can be very patient with in terms of allowing people to take their own pace to get to where they want to get to achieve what they want to achieve. And if I put myself out there to help and this internet is proper putting me to the test, like trying my patience, trying to cut my life. Shame on you. Anyway, I was saying, if I put myself out there to help somebody to get to a destination or to get to an achievement, I'm actually quite patient with them. I mean, I generously allow people to take their own pace to get to where they want to get to. I don't question it, and I'm happy enough to do so, to maybe slow my pace to suit theirs, because it comes very easy for me to acknowledge and accept that this is somebody else's journey, and so it should be at their own pace and their own standards. But then when it comes to myself, I'm very impatient with myself. I've always been like that. But like I said, those that have been following me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, would probably agree that I've come a long way, and it's been a hard, painful journey to learn the power of patience. I've had several setbacks, some of them quite dangerous, but I have learned the lesson. And actually, I thought I had fully and totally learned the meaning of patience as a virtue up until today. I've been working on 3 different projects at one go, which is not easy, which is a bit of an ask, if you ask me. And one thing that I tended to do, or I actually think a lot of us tend to do, is when we start doing one particular thing or a specific thing, we look around for somebody else or other people doing something similar or the same thing. And it could be you looking so you have an idea of how it goes, or it could be you looking so you get further inspiration from them, or it could be so you get more encouraged. Hi Mavis, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm just sharing about patience, really. So yeah, I was saying you kind of start looking for people who are doing similar things or the same thing, and kind of maybe as an accountability thing. But in many cases, you end up, instead of just being inspired and encouraged, you end up almost feeling like you're in competition with this person or with these people or with a group of people who are doing something similar to what you're doing or who are doing the same thing that you're doing. And then you can easily get lost and forget that your calling is your calling. Yeah. Please share. You're more than welcome to share. I didn't plan this live, but I'm just so excited. I just had to. Sometimes some messages are best saved hot before I edit my excitement. By tomorrow I probably would have edited it. But yeah, in looking around for people who are doing something similar, you can easily get lost in the maze of, she's done that, so I'll do this, or she's done that, I can do better. She's doing it like this way, maybe I should copy her, but let me put a twist to it so that it doesn't look obvious that I'm copying. And these things do happen. A lot of people would not share that, but they do happen, and they have been happening with the 3 things that I've been working on. I always kind of put pressure on myself to do too many things at one go. How I manage it, I have no idea. But anyway, I put myself on the challenge to write a book and finish it while I was going through some very horrible, painful recovery from horrible injuries. And so I decided I'm going to write a book about my experience, because I had this strong feeling that some people would want to know. 1. 2, what people saw was not actually what was real. I was very good at masking my emotions and masking my feelings. And the specific people that I wanted to know at a later stage, I wanted them to look back and know the actual emotions I went through, what I really went through, what I really felt, because I had to kind of dilute my true emotions so that I protect them. One of them is my son. I didn't want him to know just how horrible I felt, just how painful a time I was going through, and just how disturbing it all was. Like the accident happened all of a sudden at a point when I was feeling like, what, right now I'm at my peak and things are starting to happen, and boom, I was in that car accident. Half the time I was caught between deciding what's more painful, the injuries or the fact that my rising had just been crushed. Anyway, I decided I was going to write a book. So I started writing this book. And that decision as well was a bit strange. It wasn't a conscious decision to write a book. It was a decision to write a record of what was going on and why it was going on. And so that the people I wanted to know the truth could read it later. But before I knew it, it was a book. And towards the end, once I accepted this actually was a book and I wanted it published, it inspired me to start a project in my community, creating a hub where women can meet and be themselves without judgment, where women can meet and express themselves without feeling they're being judged, where women can meet and explore themselves. We get so caught up in things that happen in our lives that we forget that there is more grit in us than anyone can ever imagine. And this hub is supposed to be a place where people can explore that grit, just how strong they are, without feeling they're being judged, without feeling they're being monitored, without feeling that they have to meet certain standards. It's free exploration of oneself. And this hub is supposed to be where people can make new friends, One of the things that happened to me while I was going through this recovery process, this 3-year recovery process, was that I lost all my friends. I wasn't able to talk about my emotions. I wasn't able to. And so some people thought I had just dropped them. Some people thought I was ignoring them. Some people thought I had decided I was up there and they were down there. I'm only finding out lately, now that I'm back out there, these are the things that people thought. But the truth of the matter is I was going through a mayhem. I was going through, what's the word? I was going through a whirlpool of devastation, depression, anxiety. It was a time I lost my memory. I couldn't remember who I was. I couldn't remember where I was. And I was scared to leave the door, to leave my house. I went through all these things people didn't know, because how I managed to cover it or to mask it was at certain times of the day. I would go on Facebook. I would do these videos. I would spruce myself up. I would wear my nice wigs, dress up. It used to take me about 2 hours to get dressed up, but I had to paint this picture that I was strong and I was doing well and I was fighting. And I was actually fighting, but I felt I had to convince everyone that I was able to fight. And so I would present myself looking nice, lipstick on. I went through this phase where I was crazy about this bright pink lipstick, and I even used to do live videos about that pink lipstick. Anyway, so a lot of people were convinced everything was okay with me, even though I spent 3/4 of every day crying in pain, crying emotionally. And so the book went on, and this idea of a hub, my thoughts were, I don't ever want any woman to feel the way I'm feeling. If I can help it, I don't ever want anyone to experience what I'm experiencing. You can imagine you're at your worst and you're experiencing exclusion, subtle exclusion by the system, discrimination, racism even. All those things happened while I couldn't even stand, while I couldn't defend myself. I was thrown from pillar to 4-post. I was moved houses just like that. And, and I had to keep this front for my son's sake, that I was strong and we were going to triumph and, paint that picture. The amazing thing is, one day my son told me, Mom, I don't know why you hide your emotions from me. I can tell when you're in pain. I can see tears that are not coming out. I'm here for you. He's like, when he was 21 then. Yeah, he had just turned 21 when the accident happened. No. It was a few weeks before he turned 21 when I had the accident. So he said, I'm not a child, Mom. I'm a grown-up. I may be your child, but I'm a grown-up. And I should be able to be there for you and help you. You don't have to be strong for me. Anyway, when he said that, I was like, wow. You look at your child as a child permanently, even after they've grown. So I was so bold up about creating this hub, this safety nest for other women. I thought I wasn't healing fast enough so I could get started with it. When I used to do these live videos on my page, Road to Recovery, some women used to send me messages in my inbox because I wasn't really talking much about my injury, and they would say, oh, can you help me? I'm going through this, I listened to what you were saying and it really encouraged me. And it's made me feel like I need to start fighting again for myself. How did you do it? What happened? People were asking. And I kept thinking, I need to get well quick so I can get out there and start helping people. But in that process, I sometimes pushed myself and I ended up falling and, you know, undoing the recovery that had happened, going back to square one. I ended up having 3 operations of the same type because I was pushing myself too much. Anyway, that's when I learned I needed to be patient. Hi, Lavinia. Thanks for joining. That's when I started to realize, you know what, you need to be very patient. Otherwise, you're going to do a right thing wrong. And I remember there's a lady from church who told me that I can see the passion in you and I can see you want to do great things, but you're pushing yourself too much. You're putting yourself at risk. And you have to remember, if you put yourself at risk, you are putting this project at risk as well, because the only person who can do this is you. It's your passion, it's your dream, and so you are the one who can deliver it. So I started trying to figure out ways of being patient when I was feeling impatient. And yeah, this patience journey has been tough. You have no idea how for granted we take our ability to walk until you can't walk. If you have all these ideas that you want to do in your head, with your hands, that involves places, that involves people. If you can't walk, it's almost impossible. Only lately with COVID-19, I've learned that a lot of the things that I wanted to go out to do, I could have done them using social media. I could have done them using things like Zoom or StreamYard or even Instagram. I could have done them live, but hey, we're learning. And I guess that's part of the journey of being patient. If I had gone out there, boom, 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 I would have gone out there, done it wrong. And by the time all these Zoom live videos and all these things started flourishing as they are now, I probably maybe would have been totally discouraged or given up. So yeah, being patient has actually been a good thing. So today I learned just how useful that patience that I have painfully had to instill in myself was. I have learned just how useful it is, because today I can clearly see that if I had gone out and launched the Community Integration Hub, where the date that I had planned to launch it, I would have missed a lot of the lessons that I've learned in this space of COVID-19 started when February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months. In the last 6 months, the last pieces to that project, the last pieces to that idea, the last pieces to that puzzle have been falling into place one by one, one by one, one by one. Guys, if you pray with faith, be careful what you pray for. Be careful what words you use, because trust me, all the prayers that I've made in the last 3 years are being answered. They may have not been answered in the sequence that I wanted. They may not have been answered as fast as I had wanted. But the last 6 months, I'm seeing God shaping what needs to be shaped, molding what needs to be molded, removing what needs to be removed, be it in me or in the people that I associate with, or even the places that I was considering. He is putting the last bits, and it's exciting to watch. A few weeks ago, I was feeling quite discouraged, like I was thinking, I had hoped I would have done this by beginning of the year, and now it's July. and already half the year is gone. I'm very slow. I started to call. You have that inner voice that tells you off, and it's good sometimes. But if you pay too much attention to it, it can end up discouraging you. So I was starting to hear that voice saying these things. Oh, you're too slow. Or you've lost your mojo, or that injury has destroyed the strongest part of you, and you will never be what you were before. You will never be as strong as you were before. But hey, I don't need to be as strong as I was before. I don't need to be the person that I was before. This whole journey that I've been on is part of life's journey, and continuing to look back was just derailing my passion. And yeah, today somebody spelled it out to me. Fari, you are different, and I love it. This is what she said to me. You are different. I've been trying to figure you out the last few weeks we've been talking, and I've been trying to figure out what it is that's so different about you now, and why did you decide to change. I really liked you the way you were before, yeah, but I love the new you. That made my day. And that's why I came on this live. That made my day, to have that validation. I mean, we don't seek validation all the time, but validation has its place. Somebody saying something positive to you is encouraging. And I must say, hearing those words, you are different, Fari, and I love it. I love it. She said she liked the way I was before. And then she used the word love it, which means how she sees me now has improved. Even though I didn't even realize that I had improved. All I could think was I had this massive injury. I don't walk as well as I used to walk. I can't run. I used to run. I can't do certain jobs that I was doing before. And I thought like I stepped down, but no, it is just a new chapter of my life. And somebody saying to me, the new you I love, that made my day. Oh, thanks, Dee. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. It has been a wild journey. It has been, things that happen unexpectedly. It's very easy to think this is it. That's the end. That's me. I'm done. But if you open your mind and you open your heart and you let God reveal the whys, the ways and the wherefores, you'll be surprised that there's a silver lining somewhere. I did a speech at a function, and I said the accident that I was in. That time when I did the speech, I was actually still in crutches. I had to beg someone to drive me to the place because I really wanted to speak. And I remember saying the accident that I was in was the best thing that happened in my life, and everybody looked at me like, what the hell, is she crazy? I had these wires on my knee, and I had this massive cast on my knee, and I can't walk, and I'm saying that's the best thing that ever happened to me. People thought I was crazy. Seriously, people thought I was crazy. But I wasn't. It was, and it still is the best thing that happened to me, because that's when I realized that I had been living a lie. I had been living everybody else's dreams except mine. I had a bucket full. People talk about what's in your bucket list. My God, my bucket was overflowing, but I had never given myself the time to delve into those dreams, into those wishes, those goals, because I was so bent on pleasing other people, appearing a certain way to other people, fitting in. I lived most of my life trying to fit in and trying to paint this picture that my life was perfect when it wasn't. And it was costly. It costed me emotionally. It costed time. It costed money even. And now, me, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not doing half the things that I ran around doing, trying to convince people. And I'm happy. So, I just wanted to say patience is a virtue and encourage anybody who's watching here, be patient. If you're working on something that you're passionate about, rushing it is not a good idea. I'm not saying sit back and say, oh, well, I have to be slow because patience is a virtue. No, the pace that project or that idea or whatever it is that you're doing, the pace that it sets is the right pace. Don't look around. Like I said, I was looking around at people who are doing something similar and then feeling like I had to compete with them. It's okay to look around. You get ideas, you get inspired, but don't compete with anybody. We all have our lanes, we all have our callings, we all have our destinations, and no one can run your race for you. So you don't need to compete with anybody. That lesson, I've learned it lately. I don't need to compete. I just need to make the best of what I'm doing. And that's it. New beginning, it's good. You're going high, sis, I can tell. You have great passion. Continue with positive mind. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Yes, I have become very passionate. I think whatever you do in life, you have to be passionate about it. Even if it's one thing, it doesn't have to be a lot. Like I said, it's not a competition. Even if you do one thing in this life, on this planet, if you do it with passion, you have done well. And don't ever measure it against anybody else's. No. It's all about your capacity, your passion, your vision, and your destination. That's it. I have learned that, being excited, being happy, and being able to smile is not only when you're experiencing pleasurable things, when you're experiencing happy things. Sometimes you can smile through the pain because you know the pain is worth it. At the end of the day, it's taking you where you need to go. So the knowledge that you are going to get where you're getting to, you are going to get where you want to get to, that knowledge gives you that smile through those difficult phases on your journey. So smiling, if you see people smiling, don't always assume everything is hanky-dory with them. Just know that sometimes someone is smiling at the end result. When I'm talking to people, when I'm talking to women on the hub, I say to them, picture that thing you want so much. Picture how exactly it will be when you achieve it. Picture how it will taste. Picture how it will feel if it's tangible. Picture that. And put yourself in that position like you've actually got there already. And that whole process, you can almost taste it. You can almost smell it. You can almost feel it in your hands. And that's when you see the smile. Most people, I don't know if it's consciously or subconsciously, when you're going through that process, most people will close their eyes and you see this smile spreading on their face and you know, yes, they're there. And once you've had that taste of what you want, whatever hurdles you might face before you get there, you will face them and you will not be moved. And patience will make it all easier. Trust me, if I had been as patient as I am now, the last maybe, well, 2017, 2018, and early 2019, it wouldn't have been so difficult if I had known how to be as patient as I am now. It would still have been painful, but it wouldn't have been that painful because I would have had that vision and that feel of where I'm going and believed that I'll get there. Those 2 years, I actually didn't believe I was going to get anywhere, even though I had the passion. All I kept saying to myself, I wasted a lot of time before. I should have done this before. I should have. And I should have doesn't help. Until I switched into, I can do this. I didn't do it, I'm going to do it. That's when I started smiling through my pain. And a lot of people thought my life was really good, even though I was I was going through hell on earth. The thing that kept me going was that my destination was going to be heaven, and I want people with me in that heaven. I want all women to know that they have grit in them. I want every woman to know that they are beautiful inside and out, no matter what anybody says to them, no matter what dirt anyone throws at them, no matter how many hurdles they have to jump over. God has given us grit. He has given us talents. These hands, when you look at your hands, next time you look at your hands, just tell yourself there is so much in these hands that meets the eye. And start exploring it. You'll be amazed. Start exploring it. You'll be amazed. When you feel, I can't do this, just tell yourself, what's the worst that could happen? I could try it and it doesn't work. So what? You can try something else. But half the time when a passion starts registering in here and in here, it's achievable. Trust me, it's achievable. You might not be able to achieve it on your own, but if you collaborate, if you ask somebody to help you. I did a 90-day challenge. A lot of people know about that on Facebook because I was posting every day on my group about that challenge. All I did was put on Facebook, guys, I need somebody to hold me accountable. I need somebody to be a support system. I need a cheerleader. And people volunteered. Then I had been told, oh, you're never going to be able to walk without a walking stick. And I put myself on that 90-day challenge. I cried the first half of it. It was so painful, I would cry. And then I would smile, and then I would laugh. I tell you, if you look at the videos, you think, this woman. I would push myself and I'd do a live and I'd say, I'm doing it every day. I'm doing it. And it's 20 minutes, it's 30 minutes. I'm walking. I've done 6,000 steps and, and the pain, I'd be limping. Sometimes I would be walking with my walking stick. When I woke up and it was painful, I would be doing that walk every day. I had to do it with a walking stick, and I'll be saying, check me out. I've been woken up by my supporters and I'm doing it. And then I was dancing and I'd be laughing. And some people send messages in my inbox, you're embarrassing yourself. You're a grown woman, stop it. And I was like, I knew my goal. Like I said, visualize your goal, feel it, taste it, see it, touch it. Let your imagination take you there. And I did that. So I didn't care what people said to my inbox. I didn't care what people said on the videos. I was focused on my goal, and that's it. And then when the results started coming, when I started walking without a walking stick, people were like, okay, so you actually did it. So yeah, once that idea comes in your head and you feel that passion, that is a clear indication that you can do it. Otherwise, it would never have come into your head. Otherwise, it would never have touched your heart. So don't ever let people dictate to you how far you can go. And don't let impatience derail your passion. I'm one person who has done that to myself so many times. You'll be shocked. But as we speak, No more that. Patience. If it means it's gonna happen next year, then be it. All I know is it has to happen. I owe it to myself, and I owe it to women. Anyway, I just thought, let me do this live. Let me share my excitement and maybe encourage somebody. Thank you for those that have joined. Share this video. I really want somebody to be encouraged by it. Nothing is impossible. Somebody said impossible is impossible. I think that's true. Nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it and if you let God come with you. And if you collaborate with other people as well. We are all created on this planet to interlink. So why not? Thanks again, Dee, for joining. Thanks, Lavinia, for joining. Thanks, Mavis, for joining. Oh, I'm glad you're encouraged, Dee. This is what I would like to encourage you, to encourage Lavinia, to encourage Mavis, to encourage everybody. This life is meant to be enjoyed. This life is meant to be explored. Once God has put you on this planet, He wants you to live the life. And He wants you to make the best of it, the most of it. And He will help you do it. He will help you do it. If He needs to provide people, if He needs to provide a person, if He needs to provide an angel, He will provide. And many people think angels are flying things. An angel is somebody who facilitates your best interest. And God will send that if it's an item, if it's a person, if it's a thought, if it's energy, if it's strength. He will provide that. And you will get to your destination. So be encouraged. And if you're feeling discouraged, throw discouragement out of the window. I tell you. I love you guys. Take care. Thanks for joining. And thanks for sharing this video. Let other people be encouraged. Bye.